everyone, and welcome to the first ever episode of SPL Social, the show all about Singapore Premier League football. And of course, this show is brought to you by the wonderful folks at Football Association of Singapore, Singapore Premier League, and of course, Tampines West CSC. Today, as you all can see, I'm joined by two very esteemed guests, two, I would say, men who have, create a lot of excitement in our local league in the last few years. And I have to say, of course, that this show is all about you guys. So we want you guys to get involved, send in all your questions, and of course, win as many prizes as you can. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our two guests, of course, Haris Harun, our Singapore national captain, as well as the captain of Lion City Sailors. And of course, joining us today from Hougang United, one of their recent exports, Andre Moritz has joined us as well. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining me. Haris, how have you been?
I'm good, all good. Thank you, it's a pleasure.
And Andre, how have you been? Welcome to Singapore, and
thank
tell us a bit
much.
more about your arrival here.
It's a pleasure to be here on the show, and it's a pleasure to be here in Singapore as well. Amazing country. We received such a warm welcome, and we feel home already.
All right, great. So let's talk about match day one. A lot of thrills and spills, I would say, and many fans online have been really excited actually about the league starting. Haris, I'll go to you first. I mean, let's talk about LCS, Lion City Sailors, opening win of the campaign so far. Coming off that charity shield win. How are you guys feeling after that victory?
Yeah, it was a good win for us. It was a tough game. I think the first half was. The weather was really hot as well, and the first game of the season is always tough for any team in any league. So it was important that we kept our heads, and especially after going one goal down. So I think the boys, as a team, we did well to come back and win the shield. So it was a good way to start the season. Yeah.
Andre, you came on in the second half of that game. How was it like? Your first ever match in the Singapore Premier League.
Yeah, it was a good surprise. I mean, I've watched a little bit of Singapore football from far away, but it's really good to be involved. I mean, the first game of the league, as Harry said, it's a tough game to play, especially in our warm weather, the way it was. I think they deserve the win. I think they had the best chances. We had a few lapses, what we can do. We played well for a few moments, and then a few moments we just switch off the game. I think Lion City the Sailors were more solid on the pitch. That's why they got the win. They deserve the win, to be fair. I think we have to improve now and learn from our mistakes and just bounce back, because we have another tough game on the next weekend.
Yeah, a big one against Tanjung Pagar, who have been quite, resilient, I would say. The first game against Albirex, winning that one. Haris, I want to go back to you again. Speaking of Hougang, right?
Yeah.
They've continued to show you guys in the last season that they're really tough, on the field, and obviously they look also to be title contenders. So, do you think they'll continue to be a tough opponent for you guys?
Yeah, definitely. I think they make things really tough for any opponent, especially so for us when we played them last year. It was tough battles, and it was reported widely that they took the most points out of us before the game. And yesterday was no different. They made it tough for us. They went ahead. And I was joking with Andre before the show, that they made us run a lot. So yeah, I think it's really tough to play Hougang, and I think they'll be up there come the end of the season, because I think generally they have a really good squad as well. So yeah, I think they'll be a team to watch.
Wow, great stuff there from Haris. Remember, guys, this show is all about you all. So if you want to know more about your favorite players, don't forget to, of course, leave your comments and let me know what questions you have for Haris, Andre, and all the other players that we're going to be inviting for the rest of the season. Okay, Andre, I want to go to you right now. You've played in some amazing leagues in the world. Thailand was one of them, and obviously Turkey and England, of course. So I just want to ask you, what's different about the Singapore Premier League for you? When you first played your first game, was there anything that stood out to you?
Yeah, I was speaking with Harris before the show started. The most challenging thing for me in the league now is a few of the pitches are natural. Is in natural grass, so it's a little bit harder to play. The ball, the game tempo is really different. I think people are really used to the weather. Imagine if Harris is complaining about the hot weather. Imagine me. Imagine us, that a lot of players who come from Europe as well, so it's really different. But I feel really good over here. I didn't know how the level of football was here, and I can see that it's not only a good quality. Also, behind the scenes, you know, all the clubs have like good facilities, and they're really financial-wise, they're investing a lot. So I think that Singapore football is gonna, in the next 5 or 10 years, is gonna go up really fast, in a fast way.
And for you, what are your hopes and expectations as well of Hougang this season?
I think as the club, as the team, I think I told already, I don't think we are the favorite ones to get to the title, but I think we have a strong side. You know, we have good players, we have quality, we have young players as well, experienced ones. I think we can have a bite over there on the top. You know, we will just take one game after another and take it from there. You know, I cannot tell you or promise anything right now. What I can promise is that we've been working really hard there on the training ground, and we've been trying to put on the pitch what Clement and Firdaus ask us to do. So I think once we get to that tempo and that tactical wise that they want us to do, I think we can do really good in the league.
Yeah, I'm sure the Hougang Hools, the fans are looking forward to seeing more of that in the upcoming season. Haris, let's go to you next. Obviously, you know, you guys at Lions T Sailors have the AFC Champions League coming up, right? And it's a huge tournament for you and the team. So what are your thoughts on that? Is everyone looking forward to that?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's the pinnacle of Asian football. You know, that's the level that Asian footballers aspire to play in Asia. And for us, it's no difference. When we started pre-season, it was with an eye on that tournament. We have to prepare well for the tournament. It's going to be a whole new different level that from what we are used to as well. So everybody has to realize and not be too comfortable in our own zone, because that will spell trouble for us. And we are very well aware of that. And to have Coach Kim, who has won the Champions League before, and of course, striker who has done the job at that level with in Kim Shin-wook. I think we have the people around the club to manage expectations and you know, to tell the boys what to expect. So I think we are in a good way, but we have to prepare really well and be ready for that level. Yeah.
And Haris, I mean, the Sailors made some key signings, you know, in the recent transfer window. So many new players have been coming in. You know, obviously Maxime, Shin-wook, you know, a few others as well. So what has been the vibe like with these new boys in the team?
It's good. I think, especially how we ended the season last year. We came back from behind and won it on the last match day. I think that gave everyone an extra boost around the club. And as the new signings coming in, we know the pedigree that they come with. And also, you know, like you mentioned, we'll be playing in the Champions League this year. So I think everyone's excited around the club. Yeah. But we are aware that, you know, there's a lot of hard work to put in to compete at that level. So we are preparing for that, and we just can't wait to get involved. Yeah.
And don't forget, of course, that we have another Guess the Last Goal Scorer contest for the game between Lions City Sailors and Geylang International. As you all can see on the graphics below, you have to just guess who you think is going to get on the score sheet, and of course, the winner takes home, you know, a really, really cool merchandise from one of the winning teams. All right, it's back to you now, Andre. I want to know like a bit about your experience at Hougang with your new teammates. You know, have you bonded well with your new team? Yes,
very well, very well. It was a warm welcome from everyone. You know, they are fantastic. You know, we have something really special over there. That's what I think. That's why I think that we can do good in the league, because everybody goes along pretty well, and even if you don't get along with someone, we still have so much respect for each other over there. We know that it's a long league. We know that a few players will start playing, and then at the end of the season, the ones who wasn't playing might play. And I was very positively surprised for the way they treated me over there. Since the first day, you know, everybody just was so friendly, so warm, and we have like I said, we have such an amazing dressing room over there, and everybody just get along so well.
Oh, fantastic stuff, and nice to know. And of course, Haris, I want to go to you now, since we are talking about the Guess the Last Goal Scorer for the game against Geylang, right? And obviously the last game, I did a bit of a poll on Instagram, and a lot of people were voting Hassan Sani to be man of the match, right? And of course, Ikram as well as Diego also got a lot of plaudits. But going into this season, Geylang obviously, you know, how do you see this game panning out for you guys?
I think we have to just focus on our game. I think we are our own enemy in that sense. You know, if you try to take your foot off the pedal, and you know things can go wrong very easily. And I think Geylang have some players that, you know, if you lose focus, they can hurt you, and we cannot afford that. I think we have to learn from our first 2 games that, you know, we went behind first, but of course we did well to come back. So we cannot let that happen like throughout the season, which is not a good sign for us, because some teams will make it even more difficult for us, you know. So Geylang could be the same as well. So we just have to keep our focus and make sure that, you know, we're on the front foot all the time, and try to score that first goal, and keep the momentum and intensity of the game high.
And don't forget, of course, that you guys can catch that game on 4th of March, is Geylang versus Lion City Sailors. I want to go to you, Andre, now. Of course, the next game for Hougang is against Tanjong Pagar, who, as I mentioned earlier on, were a little bit surprising in the first game. No one expected that they would beat a very resilient Albirex Niigata side. So how are you and the team approaching this game against Tanjong Pagar?
Oh, it will be a tough match for sure. We've played a friendly match against them in the preseason. They have a strong side, really physical. They are tall. They defend pretty well, and they go in counter-attacks. And they have Rio, who is on fire. Yeah. You know, it's what's the best way to start the league than scoring 2 goals in 10 minutes? You know, I've had a few days there in Tanjong Pagar, so I know all the boys over there, and I can see I know what they can do. We know that they are a really strong side. It's going to be a tough game. I don't even got a doubt about it, you know. But we need to be prepared. As Harry said, I mean, if you score the first goal, it's good, you know. But you need to keep the momentum. Like he said, we scored the first goal against them. We couldn't keep the momentum, and especially after a team who can defend pretty well and counter-attack like Tanjong Pagar. So I think we need to be in our tiptoes the whole game, you know.
Yeah, and speaking of, you mentioned Nishiguchi. I mean, what a player as well, scoring 2 goals when he was obviously playing for Albirex previously. So, you know, he's obviously shown he's up to prove something. Alright guys, now we're going to go to the second part of the show, which is a bit more chill. We want to go into the lifestyle and personalities of our players here, you know, and I can already see some, you know, Harry's looking a little bit uncomfortable, but you know what, we're just going to have fun with this one, guys. Remember that in this part of the show, you guys can obviously send your questions for the players, and today I've already gotten some, and many of them actually want to know about food. So, I mean, obviously at Lion City Sailors, I know that you guys have a special diet that you guys get after training, right? I think I've tried it before, thanks to Kak Fiza, the chicken and the rice. So can you talk me through, you know, the meals that you guys have at LCS?
Yeah, it's a good variety. We get what we need, as in what as footballers or athletes we need. A good mix of carbs and proteins, and some salad or veggies on the side. And typically we have a fruit as well, you know, whether it's a pear or an apple or banana. So it's nothing fancy, it's just what we need. So we are grateful for the club to arrange such a arrangement for us. Yeah.
Do you have like a favorite meal to like outside all the serious food lah?
I mean, like any local, I love my chicken rice or my nasi biryani.
Nice one. So speaking of local food, Andre, you must know that Singapore is known for our food, right? So have you tried some local delicacies yet?
The boys took me to one local restaurant, and
which one?
I don't remember the name. It was like really like a corner restaurant, like a really simple one, but the food was amazing. I mean, I love spicy food.
Okay.
Probably I can't eat the same spicy food as you guys, but for me, I love spicy food. So they took me to a place. I mean, there was chicken with some spicy and white rice and some vegetables. So I think it's lovely. I love the food from around here. No, I've been all over the globe. I mean, I've been to India, South Korea, Thailand, Europe, and then it's such different, but I've never been fussy about food, and I can eat almost anything. So for me, it's okay. Anything is on the table is food, you know.
So Haris, you need to take him out for like a biryani.
He needs to try durian.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You need to try durian.
You need to try durian. He's right. It's a local delicacy which is quite special. You either love it or you hate it. Haris, you like durian?
I'm fine with durian.
Yeah, so you guys got to go on a durian trip. Okay, now I want to know a bit about the pre-match routine that you have, Haris, before a game. Is there anything that you do, you know?
Nothing special. Usually I usually have the same lunch every game, which is just like pasta with salmon. Yeah, so I try to follow that routine all along, as much as possible. Of course, when you're in the hotel, I mean, if I'm at home, that's my meal. But you know, if you're in the hotel with the team, of the national team traveling, of course, it's a little bit difficult. But yeah, that's my only routine. Nothing special. Yeah.
Okay, and no music. You don't listen to any music or?
No, I'm fine. I'm okay with the peace I have. Yeah.
Okay, what about you, Andre? Any pre-match, you know, superstition or anything?
No, my pre-match is really chilled. I mean, I think every person has their own. How can I say?
Routine.
Yeah, their own routine. I mean, for me, I love music. You know, I wake up in the morning. I have my wife. I have my stepdaughter with me. We just put some music, Brazilian music.
Samba?
Yes, like samba. Yeah, like samba. So I always go to the stadium with my headphones on as well, listening to some music. I like that to make myself, I don't know, warm for the game. You know.
Yeah, I always see Neymar doing that for PSG, always bringing in the speakers and all that. I don't know, it's very
yeah. We Brazilians, we're a bit loud, you know, we love some music. We have like every kind of music over there. We go to rock, samba, we go to funk, we go to pop, we go everything. So it's a big country, and I love samba. Me and my wife, she loves samba as well. So we always listen to it.
Nice. I think it brings the vibes, you know, up. And you know, speaking of family, Haris, I just want to know, you know, I mean, obviously you came from a break after the Suzuki Cup. So what were you guys up to during the break? You know, do they also come for your games, like your?
Yeah, my kids and my wife, they do come for the games. Not all the time, because my kids go to bed really early, so it's difficult to come for the evening ones. But yeah, at times they are there. But to take a break, like we usually go to East Coast Park. You know, it's a nice place. It's huge, long stretch, and nice for cycling, and then the beach is right there. So we just go there to chill, spend some couple of hours there. So just to let the kids run around, you know. So yeah, usually we are there most of the time.
Nice, and obviously we hope to see them, you know, at the games as well.
Yeah,
that would be cool. And Andre, what about you? I mean, since you arrived here, did you and your family enjoy, you know, some time out in Singapore?
Yeah, I mean, we're still tourists here, you know. Because normally when you live in a city, you don't do things as tourists. But my wife, she has been really busy with her MBA. She's studying over here. So, and I'm working. And then Isabella, my stepdaughter, she's always home. So when we get a time off, we go out to see some tourist place, you know, like we've been to Sentosa, to the zoo, we've been to Marina Bay, we've been these kind of places that tourists almost do every time. And we love, of course, we love our food, you know, so we go out almost every time to have some dinner or to do something to switch off a little bit of our routine, you know.
Haris, do you have any tips where he should go to visit in Singapore?
He didn't mention East Coast Park. Go to East Coast Park is good, nice place.
Yeah. Go to the beach. I know Brazilians love the beach. You know,
yeah,
like
we've been to Sentosa. I mean, it's a little bit different from our kind of beach, but at the end of the day, it's okay to be there to put your feet on the sand and to be on the seas. You know, it's been a good experience.
Ah, great vibes, great vibes. All right, guys. Now I want to get to know a bit more about your favorite players. Haris, your favorite local player of all time, and also your favorite international player.
My favorite local player is I have two actually growing up.
Please say.
Indra and Noah Alamsyah. So yeah, because when I was younger, I was more of an attacking player, and typically you're looking at these two players who were the main figures in the national team. You know, Indra, he was a little finisher, poacher, you know, getting the goals. And then Noah Alamsyah, we know what a character he is on and off the field. So I think,
out, as they call him.
Yeah, definitely. I think he has no fear. So that kind of rub off on a lot of young players, young boys like me back then. So yeah, I look up to these two. As for international, Steven Gerrard, because I think he played in a Liverpool team that was very average, you know. And I'm a Liverpool fan, so So you know, I think he inspires just by the way he plays and drives the team forward. So he's my the player that I look up to. Yeah.
Congrats on winning the Carabao Cup, by the way. That's a different show. But anyway, on what about international? Oh yeah, you mentioned Steven Gerrard. What about you, Andre? Is there a legendary player that you look
for
up
sure.
to?
I mean, I'm from Brazil. We have like 5 World Cups in our history. But for me, I mean, I totally agree when people argue about who has been the best player in the world. You know, I mean, even like the most recent ones is like Ronaldo or Messi. You know, if I say Messi or someone tells me Ronaldo, you can't argue with it because they are 2 great players. But for me, the best player I ever seen playing was Ronaldo, the Brazilian one. What he used to do with the ball, and especially after all his injuries and his comebacks, and even the doctors were saying like he wasn't able to play football anymore. He comes back, he wins a World Cup for us again. For me, is by far, for me, you know, I respect anybody else who doesn't agree with me, but by far he's the best player I ever seen playing football in my life.
And his nickname is El Phenomenal.
Phenomenal,
right?
yeah. He's the phenomenal. For me, he was a phenomenal. He's even outside of the pitch, he's so smart with his management. You know, everything he touches becomes gold. You know, so that guy is a legend.
Nice. Okay, and since both of you all have played overseas before, Haris, you played in JDT and you've played in many countries. I just wanted to ask, you know, can you just share with me some of your funny memories from playing overseas? Maybe one story each.
I think it has to be the time when we went to Dubai for pre-season. So we took the desert safari, you know, where you get in the car and go up the slopes in the desert. So I was in the car with a Brazilian and Argentinian guys. So I think there was 5 of us with the driver. And you know, the Arab drivers, they are crazy. They're going up and down, they don't care. The Brazilian guy was like, hey, bro, like, stop. But he went like even fast, and like when we got out of the car, he was like almost going to throw up. So that was really funny. But we had a ball of a time. I think it was a really nice time. Yeah.
Was it with your good friend, right, Marcos Antonio?
No, it was with Mauricio and the Argentinian players.
Fun times,
yes,
right? Yeah. I mean, I'm sure in football, many of you, both of you have had your own experiences. But Andre, what about you? Something funny you want to share?
Yeah, I had one experience in Turkey, because Turkey, mainly they are Muslims over there.
Yep.
And the first time I've been to Turkey, it was 2006 or 7, if I'm not mistaken. So it was a long time ago. Nowadays, it's so easy when you want to learn about some place. You just go on your phone and you just Google it. But that time, like, internet wasn't something really fast. So I went to Turkey without any information at all. And after the training, it's so common. You just take off your clothes and you just walk naked in the dressing room, you know. And I didn't know that in Turkey that it was a big sin to be naked in front of each other. So it was the most embarrassing day in my life, for sure, by far. And that's the most iconic and funny story I have in football. Like, people were just shouting over there, like, what this guy is doing over here, you know. And then the kitman comes with a towel and just like hug me and say like, oh no, you cannot do this. And I'm like, okay, I'm so sorry about it. And okay, that was the worst experience. Not the worst, but the funniest one. You know, I always tell people about this story, and people just keep laughing at it. You know?
It is a very funny one. You know, it's all about, I guess, cultural differences, right?
Yeah, because I mean, I didn't know it was a sin. You know, it was really something really heavy to do it. I mean, I feel sorry for it, but I didn't know, so it's okay. We try to make as a joke, you know.
Awesome, and you know, I'm really enjoying the stories that, you know, our wonderful guests are sharing today. And before, you know, we go to the next part, I just want to ask you guys if you have any messages for the fans watching, you know, your fans who are coming to the games. Maybe Haris, start with you first.
Yeah, I think the fans, they play a huge and important role in football. There's no football without the fans, so, you know, I urge the fans to keep coming. I think we saw strong support towards the end of last season, as well as during at the beginning of this season as well. So I hope the support is the same or even better as we progress in the season. Yeah.
And Andre, what about you? I mean, I'm sure you know Hougang has its own fans called the Hougang Wolves, and they are always there cheering for you guys. Do you have any message for them and also other fans who are watching this?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they have you guys have a big part of our success, you know. And even after the loss we had against the Sailors, like, we were there supporting us, and that means a lot for us, you know. Everybody, it's not a good feeling when you lose a game, you know. And then even after the game, everybody was just feel sad. But when you look to your supporters, they're just like shouting and cheering for you after even a loss. I mean, it's an amazing feeling. And even towards me as well as Andre Moritz. I mean, they've been really warm and sending so many messages. I really appreciate that. I mean, it makes us always trying to get better, get fitter, try to do things that they will like it, you know. So yeah, just thank you very much.
Alright guys, and of course before I go, I just wanted to remind you all that we're having an SPL Social TikTok Challenge. All you guys have to do is to stitch the video that Haris and Andre will be sharing with me, which means they're going to ask you guys each a question, and you'll have to respond on TikTok by answering. And of course, tag us on SPL Social for more. Thank you so much both Andre and Haris for joining me today. And of course, we have the Guess the Last Goal Scorer contest for the Lion City Sailors versus Geylang International game. Let us know who you think is going to get on the score sheet for that, and of course, get involved on SPL Social. Stay tuned to our next show next Tuesday at 8:30 PM. Take care!